Hag Sameach. My name is Neil Fetter, and I am on the Board of Trustees of Congregation BethChaim. It is an honor to welcome you here this afternoon. We want to maintain a warm and welcoming feeling for these services and create a sacred space that will inspire prayer. Please help us by turning off all cell phones. For those who wear hearing aids with a T-coil program, you will be able to access our new hearing loop using this program. We do have a limited number of headphones for those who do not have compatible hearing aids. We also have large print high holiday prayer books. The headsets and large print books are located on the tables under the sanctuary monitors. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, our clergy and staff, we wish you a Gemar Chatima Tova. May you be inscribed in the Book of Life.
On this day of remembrance, we think of those who are no longer here with us as physical beings, but whose souls have so profoundly affected our existence. Their spirits remain in our hearts and embrace us on a daily basis. There are many ways to express how we feel and create and enjoy these lasting memories. Brett Fenster passed away 10 years ago at the age of 23. His father, David, composed a song that embodies both his loss and his everlasting love. We are grateful to David, who will share his music with us later on in our Youth Score service.
Yana emsacha mekomecha na'aleh v'ne'elam ve'ana lo emsacha kevodcha le'olam darashti kirvatcha b'chol libi keraticha mi omar lo racha en shamayim v'chelam yagidu lo racha beli nishma kolam beli nishma.
This first piece is not found in your machzor. It's a piece by Rabbi Susan Schnur. As a child, I went to Adif Israel in Trenton. I went for 30 years. I will tell you who sat where, a kind of an emotional geography of that synagogue. My grandmother and grandfather sat over against the wall on the left. My parents sat behind them in aisle seats. Then my aunt and uncle. The Spiegels and Rosenthal sat in the center near the front, and my girlfriend Charlie sat behind them. Then came my brother's friend Joel, then the pharmacist from Hermitage Avenue and his wife, and then the foot doctor from across West State Street. In the balcony sat another aunt and uncle, and to the right, all the way in the front, under the rabbi's nose almost, sat Nana. She always bought 2 seats, one for herself and one for Simon, her husband, even when he'd been dead for 37 years. Nana sat with her invisible person, her Simon, and we, the grandchildren, used this seat as our roving spot. From wherever we were, sitting with friends or family or out in the vestibule playing scissor, paper, rock, we'd look through the crack in the swinging door to see if Nana was alone. If she was, we would hurry to Simon's seat. We didn't know much about the people who sat in the seats around Nana, but we knew to expect them every year, and that was enough. There was the man with the cauliflower ear to our right, the woman who always wore a big hat right in front of us, and the rabbi's wife behind us, always prayerful and quiet. In the corner seat was a springy old man like an old carrot curl who davened fervently and never sat down. Every few years or so, someone would be missing, and we knew that something had happened to that person during the year. We had the long view of these people. We knew nothing about them from day to day, even their names, but we knew their lives from year to year. We kept track of them over the decades. That was enough. It was a different kind of knowing. My childhood synagogue is both a distant and near country to me, a place pregnant with geography. It seemed that everyone I knew in life, except the mailman, all my brother's friends and all my mother's friends, everyone in the neighborhood and from school and piano recitals and summer camp, we fixed like the pieces in a wooden puzzle of the United States, all set down in their places in that one still room. Everyone, not just Nana, came with their invisible person. The man with the cauliflower ear who was married to a non-Jew, he knew that, by the way, had his wife as his invisible person. The children of the woman 2 rows in front of us had moved far away. They were her invisible people. And the man who prayed fervently and never sat down, his invisible people were from a lost world, some little shtetl in Poland where the roofs leaked and the synagogue was falling down. Nana died in April. She was 97 years old. It's hard for me knowing that for the first time in 70 years that her seats are empty. I know that the people in the seats around hers feel the pull against her vacuum, the curious magnetism, the disturbance in the air around her seat. Someone right at this moment, right as we stand here in this congregation, is whispering, "What happened to Mrs. Shankman?" Or, "What happened to that beautiful, tiny old woman whose grandchildren used to swarm around her like bees?" Or, "What happened to that dignified woman who on Yom Kippur used to come to shul at 8 in the morning and not leave until the sun went down? You know, the lady who used to faint dead away every 10 years or so, and her children would carry her out like a little cloth puppet and make her drink some tea?" That seems enough to know about a person, any person, don't you think? Their devoutness, their family, their unwavering road, their health, their extra seat. Nana, you were a rock in the synagogue, an elemental presence. It wasn't just your grandchildren who wanted to sit next to you. Everyone did. Sometimes even a friend of mine, Charlie or Deborah, would steal a few minutes to sit next to you. I think even the rabbi wanted to come down off the bima and sit next to you to gain some strength from you. Nana, the way you kept your husband's seat for 37 years, the way you kept him next to you in that synagogue, that is how I will always keep you in your seat, in my heart. What I want to say is simple, that even as I stand here, there is an empty seat full with your presence beside me. There is one next to us all, a presence that we miss, an absence from which we will never recover, a wound that will always feel fresh to the touch. Isaac Bashevis Singer once wrote, "When a person who is close to you dies, in the first few weeks after that person's death, he or she is as far from you as a near person can ever be." Only with the years does he or she become nearer, and then you feel like you can live with that person again. You can almost sit next to their empty seat again. When we used to look around at Adith Israel, Nana and I, when we used to look around in the great big canyon of the synagogue, we would always turn away quickly from the newly vacant seats as if they were mirrors. Nana, right now, someone is looking at your seat like that, as if it was a mirror. But they needn't turn quickly, because in that seat is my heart, and you sit in that seat. And in your heart sits Simon, and in Simon's heart sits someone I don't know, and on and on and on in that great hallway of mirrors, all lit by a single candle, by my heart. All of us here have our own hallways that go back and converge with others into one great sanctuary, a final sanctuary. Friends, on this sacred day, this moment of ye score, we will remember them. We will remember our loved ones who sit in that invisible seat next to us, who sit in our heart and our minds, and will always be a source and a reservoir of love and strength and blessing. Let their memories continue to bring blessing, inspiration, love, comfort, and guidance each and every day. For when it does, their lives continue to bring blessing long after their days on earth. As together we say. Friends, our memorial service of Ye Score continues on page 478. O God, you are my rock. At first light I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. So do I look for you in the sanctuary to behold your power and your glory. Your love is better than life. My lips will extol you. I will praise you with my life, for you have been my help, and in the shadow of your wings I sing for joy. Maker of all worlds, how insignificant we are in your sight, and how minute in your presence. You are creator of a universe so vast that the effort to conceive it overwhelms the mind. The keenest eye scans but a corner of it. The rays of light we see today began their journey long before we came to be. Counted from first creation, the earth we live on was born but yesterday, and we made our appearance on it only a moment ago. We are feeble, we live always on the brink of death. Scarcely ushered into life, we begin our journey to the grave. Our best laid plans are ever at risk. Our fondest hopes are buried with us. Ambition drives us on to high exertion. Indulgence makes us waste the powers we have, and evil seduces us to heap misery upon others. Success and failure, love and hatred, pleasure and pain mark our days from birth to death. We prevail only to succumb. We fail only to renew the struggle. Our days are few and full of trouble. The eye is never satisfied with seeing. Endless are the desires of the heart. We devise new schemes on the graves of 1,000 disappointed hopes. Like Moses on Mount Nebo, we behold the promised land from afar, but may not enter it. Our life, at its best, is an endless effort for a goal we never attain. Death finally terminates the struggle, and joy and grief, success and failure, all are ended. Like children falling asleep over their toys, we relinquish our grasp on earthly possessions only when death overtakes us. Master and servant, rich and poor, strong and feeble, wise and simple, all are equal in death. The grave levels all distinctions and makes the whole world kin.
Adonai madam vatedaihu ben enosh vatechashevehu Adam lahevel dama yamav ketzel over baboker yatzitz v'chalaf laerev yimolel v'yavesh tashev enosh עד דקה ותאמר שובו בני אדם לו חכמו ישכילו זאת יבינו לאחריתם כי לא במותו ייקח הכל לא ירד אחריו כבודו שמרת מורה ישר כי אחרית לאיש שלום. הודה אדוני נפש עבדיו, ולא ישמו כל החוסים בו.
We are strangers in your sight, O God. Like all who came before us, our days on earth and vanish like shadows. But the speedy flight of life and the grave that looms on the horizon should not dismay us. Rather, let them teach us wisdom and prompt us to put our trust in you. For only the dust returns to the dust. The spirit which you have breathed into us returns to you, its everlasting source. Into us you have placed a portion of your divinity. Your mighty strength is our firm support. When we become servants of your law, witnesses to your truth, champions of your dominion, then indeed do we endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Eternal God, you have been our refuge in all generations. For 1,000 years in your sight are but as yesterday, when it is past, or as a watch in the night. The number of our years may be many or few, yet vain toil fills their span, for it is soon ended, and we fly away. So teach us to number our days, that we may grow wise in heart. Let your servants understand your ways, and your children see your glory. Let the beauty of our eternal God be with us, and may our work have lasting value. O God, author of life and death, our wisdom is small, our vision short. One by one, our companions, passing along the road of life, disappear from our view. We know that each must walk the same path to the doorway of the grave. We strain to see what lies beyond the grave, but all is darkness to our mortal sight. You have created us in your image and made us share in your enduring righteousness. You have put eternity into our hearts, have implanted within us a vision of life everlasting. This hope we cherish in humility and faith, trusting in your endless goodness and your wondrous love. Sustain us, O God, that we may meet with calm serenity the dark mysteries that lie ahead, knowing that when we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you are with us, a loving friend in whom we put our trust. You are the light of our life, our hope in eternity.
אשא עיניי אל ההרים, מאין יבוא עזרי, עזרי מעם אדוני, עושה שמיים, שמיים, וארץ, אל ייתן למוט רגליך, אל ינום שומרך, הנה לא ינום ולא יישן שומר ישראל. אדוני שומרך, אדוני צילך ליד ימינך, יומם השמש לא יככה, וירח בלילה. אדוני ישמרך מכל רע, ישמור את נפשך. אדוני ישמר צאתך ובואך, מעתה ועד עולם.
We continue on page 484. If some messenger were to come to us with the offer that death should be overthrown, but with the one inseparable condition that birth should also cease, if the existing generation were given the chance to live forever, but on the clear understanding that never again would there be a child or a youth or first love, never again new persons with new hopes, new ideas, new achievements, ourselves for always and never any others, could the answer be in doubt? We shall not fear the summons of death. We shall remember those who have gone before us and those who will come after us. Alas for those who cannot sing, but die with all their music in them. Let us treasure the time we have and resolve to use it well, counting each moment precious, a chance to apprehend some truth, to experience some beauty, to conquer some evil, to relieve some suffering, to love and be loved, to achieve something of lasting worth. Help us then to fulfill the promises in each of us, and so to conduct ourselves that generations hence it will be true to say of us. Rabbi Tarfon says, the day is short and the task is great, and the workers are sluggish, and the wages are high, and the master of the house is pressing. All things pass away, but you are eternal. Teach us, O God, to see that when we link ourselves to you and strive to do your will, our lives acquire eternal meaning and value, and sustain in us the hope, for we dare not ask for more, that the human spirit, created in your image, is like you, eternal. Dust returns to the earth as it was. The spirit returns to the God who gave it. In you do I seek refuge. Let me never be put to shame. You have made my days a mere span. My life's duration is nothing before you. Those who stand firm are but a breath of wind. What hope have I then, O God? My trust is in you. I dwell in the shelter of the Most High. I abide in the shadow of the Almighty.
Shiviti Adonai lenegdi tamid, ki mimini balemot, lachen samach libi vayagel kevodi, af besari yishkol lebetach, ki lo tazov nafshi lishol, lo titen chasidcha lirot shachat. Todieni orach chaim, sova simachot et panecha, neimot bimincha netzach.
Let us call to mind the great and the good, through whom the Eternal has done wonders. Wise and eloquent in their teachings, they were just and loving in their deeds. There are some who have left a name behind them, whose remembrance is as honey in the mouth. And there are some who have left no memorial, whose names have vanished as though they had never been. I think continually of those who were truly great, who from the womb remembered the soul's history, through endless corridors of light where the hours are suns, endless in singing, whose lovely ambition was that their lips, still touched with fire, should tell of the Spirit clothed from head to foot in song, and who hoarded from the spring branches their desires falling across their bodies like blossoms. What is precious is never to forget the delight of the blood drawn from ageless springs, breaking through rocks and worlds before our earth. Never to deny its pleasure in the simple morning light, nor its grave evening demand for love. Never to allow gradually the traffic to smother with noise and fog the flowering of the Spirit. Near the snow, near the sun, in the highest fields, see how these names are feted by the waving grass and by the streamers of white cloud, and whispers of wind in the listening sky, the names of those who in their lives fought for life, who wore at their hearts the fire's center. Born of the sun, they traveled a short while toward the sun, and left the vivid air signed with their honor. Author of life. May the pains of past bereavements grow more gentle. Indeed, let them be transformed into gratitude to our dear ones who have died, and tenderness to those who are still with us.
Mizmor leDavid, Adonai roi, lo echsar. Binoteshe yarbitzeni al mei menochot yenahaleni. Nafshi shovev, yancheni v'maglei tzedek leman shemo. Gam ki elech begeit salmavet, lo irara, ki ata imadi. Shivtecha umishantecha, hema yenachamoni. Taroch lefanai shulchan neged sorerai, Dishanta v'Hashem en roshi, kosi revaya. טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי. ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים.
Eternal God, you are my shepherd, I shall not want. Giver of life, our times are in your hand. One generation comes into the world to be blessed with days of peace and safety. Another goes through the valley of the shadow, enduring the cruelties of persecution and war. Heartbreaking have been the times that have fallen to our lot, O God. We have lived through years of tyranny and destruction. We are schooled in sorrow and acquainted with grief. We have seen the just defeated, the innocent driven from their homes, and the righteous suffer a martyrdom as merciless as any ages have witnessed. At this hour memorial, we recall with grief all your children who have perished through the cruelty of the oppressor, victims of demonic hate, the aged and young, the learned and unlettered, all driven in multitudes along the road of pain and pitiless death. Their very presence on earth was begrudged them, for they brought your covenant of mercy and justice to the recollection of your enemies. They perished because they were a symbol of your eternal law. Their death has brought darkness to the human soul. They lie in nameless graves, in far-off forests and lonely fields, and the substance of many was scattered by the winds to the earth's four corners. Yet they shall not be forgotten. We take them into our hearts and give them a place beside the cherished memories of our own loved ones. They now are ours. We remember with sorrow those whom death has taken from our midst during the past year. Taking these dear ones into our hearts with all our beloved, we recall them now with reverence. In the rising of the sun and in its going down, we remember them. David Scott Albert, Barry Altman, Ruth Arias, Barry Bader, Genia Burke, Sylvia Best, Ira Breiterman, Marlene Brown, Eileen Davidson, Elliot Dorfman, Harvey Andrew Feldman. In the opening buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them.
In the blueness of the sky and the warmth of summer, we remember them.
Murray Feynman, Stephen Fishberg, Jill Friedman, Janet Lowe Gerstmann, Barbara Goldfarb, Jack Goldstein, Jesse Goldstein, Dr. Stephen Harris, Sylvia Hollander, Samantha Josephson. In the rustling of leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them.
In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them.
Robert Culler, Simone Levitt, Charles Lean, Alan Lovitch, Erwin Markman, Morton Meyer, Alvin Miller, Judith Miller, Robin Olson, Beverly Platten, Jean Pucciati. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them.
When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them.
T. Rabbit Masterman, Sanford Rader, John Rothman, Tamara Seletsky, Rebecca Schenkman, Ann Schmaltz, Anita Schwartz, Robert Sheffield, Cynthia Stein, Jean Withers. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. We continue with silent remembrance of our loved ones and with the beautiful music of Dr. David Fenster. We use the meditation on page 491. We rise as one community for El Malay Rachamim on page 492.
El male rachamim shochein b'mromim המצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה עם קדושים וטהורים כזוהר הרקיע חסידינו שהלכו לעולמם. בעל הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים. ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתם. אדוני הוא נחלתם. וינוחו בשלום על משכבם, ונאמר אמן.
Together in English. O God, full of compassion, eternal Spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest under the wings of your presence to our loved ones who have entered eternity. Source of mercy, let them find refuge forever in the shadow of your wings. Let their souls be bound up in the bond of eternal life. The eternal God is their inheritance. May they rest in peace, and let us say, Amen. And we join together in the ancient words of Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, v'almad yivrach yirutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya, yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha b'richu, leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'miran b'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And together we say, Amen. After the closing benediction, we will take a 10-minute break to move closer for Mincha, our afternoon service. May the memories of those we honor today continue to bring blessing long after their days on earth. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. Thank you.
No, I don't. That's one thing they don't keep up here. No place to put your trash in case someone blows their nose or something like that.
Right. Get the coffee up. Make the coffee. I can care less about food. I need that cup of coffee.
Yeah, see, you guys, you're the same way. I don't like coffee that much.
If I could have a cup of coffee, please, in my car.
So Rhonda was telling me, that's the first thing she said when I came up here. She said, you know, I need the coffee. Yeah, that's what she said. I don't care about it. About anything else.
I mean, I can't.
I weaned myself off of it during the holidays, 2 years or something before.
How do you do
So I
that?
don't get the caffeine headache. We just gradually reduce some of it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And then tomorrow morning, I
Usually
can
it's
see
And dive into a vat.
it's a 3 o'clock day.
everybody wants to get to the break fast. I'm all excited about the first coffee tomorrow morning.
Oh, well.
You're not going to have a cup of coffee?
Well,
If I do.
yeah, but it's
Thanks.
Sure. They said it was boring. Let me know. Although I do have my umbrella.